Hey rail fans and model railroaders, welcome back to another episode of Getting Back on Track with Steve
and Roxy. So last time we got our mountain all glued together and did some initial carving with our hot tools to get the basic shape of the mountain together.
So that means this week we need to get out our carving tools and we're going to learn how to carve up this mountain to make it look more like realistic rock. So with that being said, let's get this work done.
Okay, the first thing we got to do so we can finish doing this mountain is we need to get these tunnel liners in place. So we need to be able to adjust them around as we're making sure we got the portals set correctly and we're not causing interference with the liners, which I don't think we will, but it doesn't hurt to be careful about it. So I've chosen to use a latex caulk to go ahead and glue them down. And that gives me plenty of time to move them around and make adjustments because there's plenty of room to slide it back and forth in here. And it'll set it pretty good once it's all done. So to do so, I'm just going to set it up here. I'm going to put a good bead along here. I can go ahead and flip it on up and over, and then I can use our portal, get it positioned, and then I know approximately where I need that thing to be. So that I can just push it down into place. And this caulk dries clear, so you won't even see it when it's done. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a little ballast and stuff in there after the fact. So that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna take and just put one weight up on top of it to kind of hold it down, keep it steady. Okay, position looks good. So now I can move over to this other side and I'm gonna do the same thing with it. Now this end, because we have them set a little bit wider, the spacing on the tracks, they kind of come in as we go. I'm gonna need to raise the portal on this side a little bit. So I've got two little pieces of foam here that I'll use to help set it. But I want it set a little bit higher just to make sure that I can make the clearance I need going across here. So I've got my two cars sitting right here. You can see how I hit there. I got to move it this way a little. Clear. So I could move it a tiny bit more. That looks pretty close. So it should be right about here. So now I can flip this over, get it into position, check my clearance again. Okay, that looks like a pretty good spot right there. So let me get my weight. Set the weight. Okay. Now we just let those set and dry, and then we can get on to figuring out the next little bit.
Okay, so we figured today we're gonna go ahead and carve the space here first, because it'd be easier with it being off of the layout so we can really get into here. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna use just a regular chef's knife here, a kitchen knife. It's got a fairly sharp blade, but not too sharp. And we want to kind of carve some rock faces in like this and some strata lines coming in this way. And I'm going to ease this edge off a bit because we'll probably make some rocky areas kind of back along the side over here. So let's go ahead and try this out and see how this is going to work for us. So we want to take, first we need to kind of cut a little along here. We don't want to be too sharp. Run some lines. You want to take the tip and stick it in, kind of move it along, move it around a little bit. You want to just keep cutting straight. We'll cut another one off of this side. Keep turning the tip. I got Then we kind of take their tip, come in here. We want to cut a little bit in. Cut a little past our line here. We can just come in here and pop this out. So now we can take our knife tip. We want to kind of work these edges along here. And we could cut into this one a little bit more. Cut this edge back this way. Chip some of this out. And then we're going to take our serrated knife. We can kind of rough it up like that a little bit. You can see our surface is starting to look more rock-like with some fissures, but we want to be careful about not leaving too much in straight lines and stuff. So we want to kind of look, there could be some little cracks along here. Maybe another crack going the other way. We just don't want things to be too uniform. Okay. So I have to grab my brush. By taking the brush, if we take and make like stabbing motions into it, you kind of rust up that surface, kind of pebbly looking. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we'll just keep working our way this way. See, we got a crack kind of running up here. Chip those out. Come back, chip our edges in. And just the tip of the knife works pretty good at making some little strata in here, little goldie marks. It's just looking pretty good. Pretty rock-like. Now we don't need to be too focused on this over in here. We're going to be using some Sculptamold. We'll build up a little berm up against this fish here, and we'll probably use some talus on top of that so they can replicate stone all breaking off of here. But it's starting to shape up pretty good. I think I'm liking how that's looking. Okay. A little hard to do left-handed. work out. I'm just kind of turning the corner here. That's looking pretty rock-like. So now, let's see. I've got a brush, nylon bristle brush, somewhere here. So we take a stiff nylon bristle brush. We're just going to go ahead and just sit and pick at it, find little spots that don't quite look right. You just pull those off. Kind of work on it a little bit with your fingers and your thumbs. I think that's looking pretty good. So we got these Stratolines here that I'll probably use a little bit of plaster into it to kind of clean that up. And then I think we'll be good to go. Okay, now that we've completed the carving, rough carving of the rock face on this surface here, because it's much easier to reach on the bench outside of here. But now we're gonna be doing some minor carving on here, and we gotta work on all of this area. But we need to get that mountain top attached on here permanent. So we're going to use this Loctite PL300. It's a foam board adhesive. And let's just put a little bead of it across here. Okay, we get our putty knife. We'll spread this around. And as usual, I put way too much on here. About the time I learned that a little bit is all it takes, I'm going to be done with all the foam side of things. So, okay. All right, we're going to grab our foam mountain here. Get it placed on top. And we'll get it into position. And then we just need to wear down. So I got a couple of paint cans here. Got a nice brick to help hold it in place.
And I'm gonna go ahead and put these on here. Okay. So I got one other piece I want to work into the top up here, just to give it a little character. And we're gonna add some of our adhesive to it. Okay, so I want that positioned. Thinking about like so. Okay, that should do. On to our next task. I want to put something like this in here. So we're going to take a knife, a little bit of an angle.
Well, there you go. We got in there, learned all about carving, got the tunnel liners installed in the mountain, and to put the top on the mountain so that we could do some additional carving to get the shape we were looking for.
And so going forward, we're going to need to add a little bit more foam on the entrances and exits so we can set up the portals. And we've decided we're going to put another short tunnel on the lower level on the exit side so that we can make a more gentle sloped mountainside in that area. So that we think that should look pretty darn good. So in the meantime, you guys have a good time running your trains and working on your layouts.
Make sure you hit the bell so you're notified of our next video.
And we'll see you back again next time on the next episode of Getting Back on Track with Steve
And Roxy. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.